What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Sports here, back with another video, and as you can see by the title, this is going to be my 2017 Stanley Cup final preview. The Nashville Predators facing the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Before I get too deep into the video, I just want to congratulate the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Nashville Predators and their fans on this incredible ride that they've been on. This is obviously awesome for you guys. Your fan bases are probably so happy. If you guys are fans of the Preds or the Penguins, let me know in the comments section. Really want to know what you guys are feeling right now before the series starts on Monday. It's a great time to be a hockey fan, Stanley Cup Finals. So let's get into the video. Obviously, the Penguins come in as defending champions, and they have been a storied franchise. This is great for them again and their fan base. Another wild ride to the Stanley Cup Finals. Then you have the Nashville Predators, who have never been to the Stanley Cup Finals, and they're searching for that Stanley Cup. There's been a lot of different storylines going on in these playoffs, but the one thing I wanted to start off with previewing this series was the injuries to both teams. So we know Fiala and Johansson are both done for the playoffs, but Smith and Fisher are both likely to play in Game 1 for the Preds. Losing Fiala was bad, but losing Johansson was even worse. Nashville's really going to need some depth scoring in this final. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. For the Penguins, everybody knows Letang is out. That's obviously a huge blow for them. Hornqvist, Runittel, and Kuhnhackl, what a bunch of names right there. All of them may be able to play in Game 1. Their status is still uncertain, so we'll have to see where that goes as well. Both teams have had a wild ride to get to the Stanley Cup Final. We've heard from different media outlets that one or the other team may have had an easier path to the final, but I feel like they both have battled really hard and both deserve to be here. Now, people will argue Nashville just squeaked into the playoffs, so you know it's a better story, this, that, and the other. But Pittsburgh has also battled a lot. They have been a great team all season, and for the past couple seasons, obviously defending their cup. But one thing I want to do is see how they match up against each other. So first, I'll just start off with the goaltending. It's going to be probably Pekka versus Matt Murray. Now, Pekka has been an incredible story this playoff. Matt Murray also has been really good, but Pekka, wasn't expected to be this great in the playoffs. He's a good goalie, but there was a lot of doubters on how he would play. He's had a couple rough seasons here and there, but he's returning back to that full Pekka form, and they're really going to continue to need that in the Stanley Cup Final here. Matt Murray obviously coming in when Fleury didn't have the best game has been great for Pittsburgh. He won them a cup last year as well, not all by himself, but he was a big reason why. And he has a chance to win 2 cups as a rookie, which is absolutely ridiculous. So, and if you don't believe me, look that up. I think that's true. So, I think the advantage probably goes to Nashville on goaltending, but it's very, very close. It was tough for me to even think about that because I think it is insanely close and it could really go either way. On defense, I kind of have to give the advantage to the Preds. Obviously, they have their top 4 is ridiculous. Ekholm, Josi, Ellis, Subban, just insane defensive depth. And the trade that they made looks pretty good. You never know how it would be either way. I'm not going to get into that. But their defense is just really good. Pittsburgh, obviously losing Letang hurts, but I have to give the advantage to Nashville. Pittsburgh does have a good defensive core, but like I said, Nashville they're too strong on defense, and I think a lot of people would argue they probably have the best defensive core in the league. Then we get to the forwards, and everybody knows that Pittsburgh has the 3-headed monster, Crosby, Malkin, and Kessel, but they have been getting production from everywhere. Nashville has gotten good depth from guys like Colton Sissons, but Pittsburgh just has the depth, 1 through 4, they can go through all 4 lines, and having players like Malkin and Kessel on your second line doesn't hurt either. Okay, so the camera decided to die. So as I was saying, Pittsburgh's depth is really good when they're not getting scoring from Malkin, Crosby, and Kessel, which is pretty much all the time. They're still getting it from Hornqvist, Cullen. They're getting it from everywhere. But not just the forwards are getting it done. Schultz, he's been putting up points too. My point here is just the offense for Pittsburgh is just dangerous, and everybody knows this, and that's also not knocking Nashville's offense. They have a pretty good offense, and they have been getting scoring from other guys in Johansson's absence. But it always is tough to keep up with the Pittsburgh Penguins offense, so we'll have to see how that goes. So it will be a little bit of a clash. You've got a really good defensive side there on Nashville and a really offensive side on Pittsburgh. One thing I want to quickly mention was the center depth for both teams is a little off now that Johansson and Fisher are hurt. Fisher probably coming back, but he has been almost invisible in the playoffs, I mentioned in another video. But going up against Pittsburgh's center core is going to be a problem for Nashville, and we'll see if Sissons can pick up some of the slack, because he's going to have to be really good. Guys I'm looking for on Nashville to really step it up is Watson and Neal. They have produced, but they are really going to need to step it up in this series. Having them step up for Nashville would be incredible, because they're going to have to fill the void of Johansson scoring, and Fisher, again, like I said, hasn't been scoring. So hopefully when he comes back, he can put up some points, but Neal and Watson can have a good series, and Sissons is also going to have to be pretty good. Filip Forsberg really needs to drive the offense in this series. Now, I'm pretty sure he will. He's capable of doing it, but he's going to have to really turn it on now. Nashville's really going to need scoring from everybody, but having a guy like Forsberg leading the charge is only good for Nashville's chances in the Stanley Cup final. On the Pittsburgh side of things, they're going to have to step it up on defense. They have been good in the Stanley Cup final, and they do have a lot of forwards that will come back and play good defensively, like the Beninos and the Haglunds of the world. But their defensive core is going to have to step it up, and Schultz is going to have to be a catalyst on that blue line. We've seen Mata improve his game as well, so having him play better is also positive for them. Hainsey, again, just needs to be solid. Pittsburgh's D-core just needs to be solid, because their offense will run everything else. I highly doubt Pittsburgh's worried about their scoring, because they've been doing so much of it and they've been really great at it. But with a great defensive team like Nashville, they will need their third and fourth lines to pick up the pace a little bit. So Hagelin, Bonino, Cullen, these guys are really going to have to step it up as well. And Cullen obviously isn't that much of an offensive presence, but he'll really need to step it up. So after all of this, I think it's going to be a very, very, very good matchup. You know, the great defensive team versus the great offensive team. We're going to see how it clashes. I think this series is going 7 games, and it will be a tight race. I still have no idea who I'm going to predict, but like I have been saying in the other videos, I just have to make a prediction. Through everything I've seen, and for what I think the outcome will be, I think Nashville is going to win the Stanley Cup in 7 games. And even when I just said that, I'm like, I don't know if Pittsburgh maybe, I don't know. I'm happy. This is going to be great. It's great hockey. Pittsburgh going for their 2nd cup in a row, just solidifying how great Crosby, Malkin, and, the whole team has been. Man, Phil Kessel could win a 2nd Stanley Cup, but seeing Nashville win that Stanley Cup would be absolutely incredible. But that's just a prediction. As a hockey fan, this is going to be fun to watch. Lots of storylines with Rinne. He's been like pretty much the MVP. Subban has been awesome. Forsberg, and Pittsburgh, Kessel, Malkin, Crosby, just incredible. This is going to be so much fun. The Murray-Rinne matchup is something I'm also looking forward to. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to for this matchup, and of course, it's for the Stanley Cup. How could you not be looking forward to this? Let me know your predictions. Who's going to win the series. And yeah, if I left anything out, let me know as well. But thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. I'm going to be making a lot more videos. I make basketball, baseball, hockey videos. Thank you guys for 200 subscribers. Now let's see how long that lasts, because YouTube's been really weird. After I do live streams, it goes up and down. It's so weird within seconds. But like I said, subscribe if you want to see more content. Like if you want to. And, go check out some other YouTubers. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let's go watch the Stanley Cup. Peace.